All right. Sarah said she's not going to be able to make it because school or something lame like that. What a
So lame.
Are we all here otherwise, though?
I'm present.
Whoa. Somehow everybody got really quiet.
Here.
There's Ryan.
I think Jared said he had some technical difficulties.
I think I saw that too.
Did you end up listening to the playthrough, Ryan, since you weren't able to make it? For the Dinner with Strahd? Well, take that as a no.
And don't ever talk to me again.
Shunned.
I actually did re-listen to it the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Updated some of the notes, added a little couple things here and there.
Oh, nice.
I don't know who filled in most of the notes, but they did a good job.
That's good because I don't think it was me. Somebody wrote it up. Oh yeah, actually I did write that up. And then I was like, oh yeah, I I just took paper notes and then I did transfer it one day when my lecture at school was boring.
Nice.
I just forgot about that.
Well, as Jared's issues continue, do you guys want to just check back in at 5:30?
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
never mind. I can hear
Yeah.
Jared.
Ready. I
Hold that
counted
thought.
one.
Yeah, so that microphone that Sarah sent me, problem is it mutes the speakers, so I can't hear anything.
Oh,
That's
Perfect.
problematic.
Just, one of the, apparently a lot of other people have this with Apple, so, we'll see.
I get the special Apple product and dongle attachment.
It's annoying, but we'll
Costs
see.
$50,000.
Mm-hmm.
and it changes with every model.
Yep.
And they no longer send it in the box. You have to buy it separately.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, for now, we'll do this.
Excellent.
Hopefully, I can get the microphone to work at some point.
All right then. Well, if we are all present and accounted for, we'll.
Except for Sarah. Is she not coming?
No, yeah, she's not gonna make
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I was making fun of her for doing schoolwork earlier.
Yeah.
School.
Who needs to do schoolwork?
So yeah, she texted me, said she's not gonna make it, so we'll continue on without the
Yes.
Spinistress. I think is what her monster's name was. Spinister, that's right.
Spinister.
The
Spinister's gonna
sinister
go spin
Spinister.
their web somewhere else.
Yep. All right. So as we left off last time, you all had found your way to a large room within this strange cavern system or tunnel system with these precisely carved out caverns, so these chambers that are variously, you've looked into a couple of them now. I think you saw one where there was just like from floor to ceiling artist supplies of, a virtual infinite variety from, chalk to clay to oil and paint, etc. Um, you were you've been in contact with Zikaso, the seemingly egotistical artist who claims you have been led to believe at this point is some sort of floating eye creature, a beholder of some kind, that the other denizens of this place have come to worship as the Golden Orb. You have not yet come face to face or face to eye with this creature, but you've seen some of these other beholder kin creatures, these smaller floating eyes with eye stalks of various type, from like wobbly tentacles to these like jointed things that look like crab limbs, to just varieties of appearances for each of these strange floating creatures. You've only seen them in passing so far, but some of you have begun to hear them singing choruses of worship to the Golden Orb in the back of your mind. And after releasing your newfound companions from their maturation chambers, they have become your allies, tentative allies at this stage, and you've been told by Zikaso that they would be able to aid you while as you navigate your way through here. Zikaso has asked you to help figure out why his followers have like become these zealous worshippers of Zikaso as the Golden Orb. And trying to remember, do any of you remember any other of the details that Zikaso has said and provided you for his request? Because you guys agreed to help him, and in exchange, he said he would take you to his art studio, so you could look upon his greatest masterworks, and enjoy the sublime beauty of them. You agreed to this arrangement, and Zikaso's, has told you that he will do so. You guys know also that this place you're in right now that has seemingly separated you from your dwarven guides, the dwarves that you were really here to help in exchange for gaining access to a flying ship. But you guys were separated as the strange warping and twisting of the tunnels in this place seemingly grew a distance between you, and before you realized it, they were nowhere to be found. But you guys also fought off another batch of these kind of orangey umber skin, tall, lanky, muscular creatures, humanoid people that some of whom seem to have telepathic and telekinetic abilities themselves. And one of them came in after being pushed out of the chamber, came back riding a red dragon, which you guys were able to put to sleep at the end of combat after slaying most of the other giths that were fighting you. But yeah, do any of you guys remember any other details of what Zikaso has asked of you? Trying to remember exactly what he has said.
As far as I recall, that's like pretty much it. We're supposed to we're supposed to bring somebody, some of his followers to him. We have an option. We can either bring them to him and he can interrogate them, or we can go figure it out ourselves, I think. I'm not sure.
That sounds right. I
Yeah.
believe he gave you a few locations within this place that you might find some information or
Yeah, there
Storage
was the lab.
chambers, studios. Oh, I forget what
I
else there is.
also wrote down that Zikos wishes us to free him from this plane.
Yeah,
Is that
he has talked about when you guys were kind of concerned about, Zixo and like what he might be up to and stuff. He was talking about how he has already run his he's lost interest in using the flesh of this material plane as material for his art, which is why the studio here is primarily occupied. So he has said that he has no interest in plans to, as this place, even probably even before this place, as he said, it kind of drifts through the realms. This strange place that he has made his art studio, this cavernous system. And he's said he's just going to leave, probably go back to his studio and figure out what his next project is going to be, since the flesh of the material, the flesh of the creatures here that he has been working on, he says he's described them there being a rot within the flesh, and it's doomed anything he creates here to be very temporary. But he's also talked about how like that's part of the essence of his art here, was the temporary nature of it.
Sorry.
I
Yeah,
think we had decided, like, well, one, we need to figure out what to do with this dragon, and I think we were going back to
Yeah.
his. I think we should do our best to all cave its head in while it's sleeping.
If you hit it, it'll wake up.
Well, I know, but it'll wake up. But if we're all attacking it, I doubt that it'll have a chance to do anything.
Beep Boop is very hurt and wants very much to not get into another altercation at this moment.
I know, but it's gonna wake up in like less than a minute. So
There are people coming down the hall. They're chasing us. Let's send the dragon after them.
yeah, if we hide, maybe the dragon will go deal with them, and we can sneak off.
Yeah, that's true.
Ellipses is also like barely standing at this point.
Okay, so does anybody have any invisibility spells or
I can
anything like
turn
that?
4 of us invisible. But that's it.
I can make myself invisible.
Hey, perfect!
So,
Okay, I think we should do that and start making our way towards the lab. I think we are going to.
Yes. And then I like bring out my little ball of yarn and I hold it and I think about turning invisible and I turn invisible real quick and then I toss it to Xerox and say, pass it on. Think real hard about not being seen. Let's go.
Okay, I do so and pass it to the next person. Pass it to the next person who's interested.
Zap will grab it, just grabs it with its mouth, and then like wags its tail and doesn't want to let anybody else have the ball yarn.
And now we can't see it, so shit.
Zap will be mischievous, but being somewhat aware being, will then run over to ... and ellipses and wrap throw the ball around his shoulder.
Ellipses picks up the ball and says, "I wish I was dead. This doesn't work. I guess no one could see me." And he turns invisible.
Now it's like you're not even in existence.
Don't
Now,
give him any ideas. He's just gonna slink off and pretend to be dead.
we need you. This way.
I don't know where you guys are going. I can't see you anymore.
Tie the rope around his waist that we've been using back and forth to tie around each other. Everybody hold on to the rope. Let's go.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I guess we can wake up the angry dragon while... Oh, nope. Too late.
So as you guys are preparing this, or passing around the invisibility ball, You continue to hear the approaching sound of some more of these beholderkin, these floating heads. You know it's them by the strange cacophony of voices as they float down the hallway or the tunnel towards this room you're in. You heard them saying to each other that we must hurry. We mustn't let the dragon go to waste. Save it. Don't let it die. We must bring it to the surface. To the surface. And soon you see shadows of them stretching across the entrance. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in these last moments before they come in?
Hide.
Hide. Yes.
Oh, spooky voice, Ryan. Very appropriate. Your audio is all garbled, though. It was all like robotic and yeah, pretty cool though.
He slips into the shadow and robotically hides.
Ah, sounded better. Wait, are you still there?
Yep.
Excellent. So you slip into the
Yay.
shadows and hide. All right, everybody, you guys can all give me a group stealth check, please.
Stealth check.
19.
Nice.
Oh, thank God. 17.
Oh, +5. That's dope. 21. Actually, 22.
Much less than that. Oh, and I have disadvantage. Great. It doesn't matter. 6.
6. I think I'm missing one.
I got 35.
35.
Jesus Christ.
That's a nice one. Well, one of you definitely succeeded very well. Where? Oh man, thought I had the right notebook, but I don't see my notes for some stuff, which is annoying. Wonderful. So you guys hide. Noose, you even with invisibility in play, you quickly find Beat Boop. You can just hear some like some like interior mechanics of Beep Boop is just like whirring a little bit excitedly at the moment, and you sneak over to him and help them bring some awareness and muffle that noise as these creatures float into visibility. A few eyes first come around the corner and begin like looking around the room, like scanning it, and then you can see just moments later the fleshy body of this creature. First like one large eye and the gaping fang-toothed mouth comes around as well. This beholder floats around as if it were upside down, and the ceiling were the floor, and it comes in, floats more or less into the center of the chamber as 7 more of these creatures come into the room as well. Each one different from the last. Some of them, like one has like reptilian like scales. Another one has like a thick, doughy sort of red flesh. Another one looks like it has like a metallic sheen to it. All of these creatures come in a different variety from the next. But they quickly come around and float into a ring around the dragon. We'll give them a quick just double check to make sure they don't spot any of you. With your invisibility, they don't seem like that first one that comes in hesitates, and you can you swear, Beep Boop, that it is like one of its eyes is just staring right at you, even as all the other ones continue to scan the room. And then it disengages and does not seem to have noticed you. They circle around the sleeping dragon, and just as it's beginning to wake from its induced slumber, you see 7 different rays of energy get emitted from these various beholder as they say, like one of them sings to it, "You'll become a stone for now, and then your flesh will burn. It'll burn on the surface. The golden orb will unveil what's within you." And they shoot some sort of energy rays at it, and even as the dragon like jerks its eyes open and its head like lifts off the ground, it just comes to a complete rigid stop. And then you can see the eyes of these creatures, the majority from each body, the majority of its tentacle eyes and whatnot, are still gazing at the body of the dragon. The other, couple, 1 or 2 floating around looking at other things. And you can see them all begin to just like squint their one main eye at the center. Each of them has like one large eye in the center of its body. And the dragon begins to lift off the ground, still like paralyzed in its position, but begins to just float slowly through the chamber and out into the tunnel. You can hear its scales scrape roughly against the rock wall as it, uh, they struggle to push it through some of these smaller portions of the tunnel outside, but they are taking this dragon to the surface, to the golden orb.
So we are alone.
Yeah, with one last look through the chamber as these creatures float away, 1 or 2 of the eye stalks kind of hang back, still looking around in there, still maybe a couple suspicious eyes, and then they're all gone.
Okay. Shall we make our way towards this laboratory? Maybe we can find some items there to help us recover a little bit. Or
Sounds
unless
like a
we
fabulous idea.
okay.
Or we follow the orbs. But I'm as far away from danger. We must
Yeah.
keep Xerox safe. We must keep Xerox safe.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
As you guys invisibly discuss your next move, a mouth flesh begins to sprout up from the ground right beneath, like right between your feet, Xerox, and you can see this like pseudopod, like just fleshy construct stretches out from the ground about 3 feet before the tip of it just begins to like fold into itself and then becomes a large mouth. You can see it. This one has no teeth, but it has like big red gums in there that look like those fit like some fish and stuff. Looks like their gums are their teeth, or it's just like they don't really have like separate entities, but just like look, there are these sharp ridges in it. And it says, "Your fleshly bodies grow weak. Is this so?" You recognize the voice of Zikaso speaking to you again from the walls and the floors.
That's correct. You're somewhat the worse for wear after that encounter.
In my early work, while I was still present, before I left and left my creations to grow, the early cycles required quick maturation. If you step into one of the chambers in the laboratory, it could allow you to heal and rest up very quickly.
I think that sounds like just the thing. Let's head there. Can you
Are we
take us
still
there?
in the lab? We're out of the lab, right? We went down the hallway.
Yeah, you guys are. Which room is this? I can't remember what the name for the room is because I don't have my fucking notes. But this one is where it's not the lab, not the laboratory, but like the maturation chamber where you guys were set for long-term storage and the final
Yeah.
product of you were created.
Okay. Cool. So we know just where to go to get there. It was just back down the hall a little ways, I think.
Yeah, we can head over there.
Zap will start prancing down the hall, thinking that everybody will follow, but does not realize that they're still invisible.
We got the rope. We're good.
Got a visible rope connecting a bunch of invisible people again. I love it. How do you guys feel about a quick break so I can try one more time to find my notes that actually have some more of the details here? So I don't have to remember all of it as we go.
Sounds good.
No good.
Yeah.
Let's be playing.
So how about like 10
Sure.
minutes?
All right. That'll work.
Excellent.
Yellow.
Hello, hello. Oh, I'm all blocky again.
My video looks low quality today too. I don't know if something's going on with Discord or what, but
Yeah, it doesn't look the best.
yeah.
Oh, I stopped boosting. I'm sorry, everybody. Our video
Oh.
quality and audio quality will now be much poorer.
No. Wow, I didn't realize that made such a difference.
I mean, I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure. But maybe. No, we're still level 2. I don't know what it is. Just kidding.
Yeah, I thought it like. Oh, now mine's
Yeah,
a little
mine
bit
just
better
got way
again.
better.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Huh.
Heard us talking about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Listening in.
Did you find it, Mark?
I did.
Because
It
I
was.
also figured it out.
Did you find some notes too?
I just went back to listen to that conversation.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's smart.
I believe he told you about the studio, the maturation chamber, the lab, the surface, the storage chamber. Anything else?
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, it mostly just figured out that we're trying to figure out why they think he's a god
Mm-hmm.
and get them to stop. So they'll let
Yeah.
him go away. Bye-bye.
I think he yeah, they're basically keeping him here against his will at this point. Because they don't want the Golden Orb to leave them again.
Didn't he think that these weird guys might have something to do with it?
He didn't know what I think he said something specific to you actually, Noose. He was describing how those creatures like you are difficult for him to track like
Gotcha.
psychically.
So maybe
Something.
Noose was thinking that they have something to do with it.
All right, are we all back?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So, heading out of this room and into the tunnel, heading towards the where you remember the lab to be. Is that right?
Hmm.
Good, good, good. So, you guys step out into the tunnel. Who's leading the way around here?
Xerox will take. Oh, well, unless Zap is
I mean,
happily
Xerox
jaunting
will.
out front.
Yeah, I mean, Zap's oblivious to the like decision-making choices of most of the party, but very happy to lead. Happy to have someone lead alongside him. Like, you know, happy
Excellent.
puppy dog likes company.
All right. So I'll have both of you give me perception checks, please. Actually, since you're all invisible, nobody's really impeding anybody else's vision or anything. You guys can all give me perception checks.
Oh, good, because I rolled a natural one.
Uh,
11.
I have good perception. Yes. Yeah. 24.
Well, I rolled a natural 20. Let me
Ooh.
find my stats real quick.
I got a
21.
22.
22 and a 21. Nice. And a 24 for Zap.
Yeah.
Noose and Beep Boop. The two of you, once you're back out here, begin as Xerox and well, the rope connecting you all kind of lets you intuit that Xerox and Zap are out front, leading the way. But you quickly begin to notice that as you traipse down this tunnel, it is different than when you passed through it before. Some different, like from little things like little rocky outcroppings being different, like some portions of the tunnel being particularly rough versus very clean cut. It looks different from what you remember. And you're also beginning to notice these like glints of um, a little bit of a reflective feature of some of the rock in the interior of this space. And as you look at it, it seems like it's drawing light in almost in places. What little bit of light you guys have, I believe you guys are still, I guess, if you're going invisible and stuff, you probably don't have any light. So anybody without dark vision is definitely having a little bit of trouble in this space.
I'm having
Um,
trouble.
But with the ropes leading you, it's not too difficult to follow the way. But those of you with dark vision begin to see these like streaks of a different kind of rocky material in the walls that seems to like draw in light, it seems. But the more you look at it, the more it seems like it's just drawing your attention, if anything, somehow. But the tunnel continues on. It's the direction that you think the lab was, but the tunnel itself looks different. Zap, you know this is the way. Why don't you give me an intelligence check, please, with
Right.
advantage.
Okay.
Xerox, do you have dark vision?
I do.
You can go ahead and give me an intelligence check, just regular.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my intelligence is -1. So
13 for
13.
Xerox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13.
13.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem like, from your guys' memory, that it took this long, or it should have taken this long, especially whichever one of you it was that had the floating eye that was
Me.
spying this place out, beep boop. You guys should have arrived by now. You guys have been walking through these tunnels now for like 10, 15 minutes. Give me everybody, except for Ellipsis and Zap. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Damn it.
6.
22.
13.
It's a good thing you guys are tied together as Noose, you're walking along and you see the ropes begin to stretch and bulge a little bit as two of your companions just begin flying in different directions as if they were
Oh,
both
here we
being
go
falling
again.
towards the bottom of a well, but the bottom of the well is on the opposite side of the tunnel for each of them. So Xerox begins falling forward down the tunnel again, and Beep Boop starts just falling backwards down the tunnel away from you until the rope catches them both.
Can I try and pull on the rope in the middle of the two?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just trying to think here for a moment. I will say that the rope snapping you guys to a halt after you fall is going to give each of you 1d6 damage. So Xerox and Beep Boop, you both take 4 points of damage
Ow.
as the rope goes taut and you guys are both whipped and your necks snap a little bit.
Xerox tries to stifle a grunt from the jarring force.
Noose, you hold your feet, and it's you. I'm gonna say you're right between them, and they're like pulling on you from both sides. You're just like standing there. The ground's below your feet. Feels like your weight's on your, just on your feet. But the other two just begin flying in opposite directions, and they just both go crack on the rope. And you manage to hold your ground. You want to give him a hand, and of course, Zap and Ellipsis, you guys see this effect too, as the rope, I still can't see the people, but the rope itself goes quickly, just starts moving on its own, and it just goes quickly taut.
You guys are gonna tear me in half.
Xerox will try to pull herself along the rope towards the anchor point.
Ellipsis
I'll
does
just
nothing,
try
just sits there.
just watches. I'll just try and back up, like pull the rope back.
All right, backing up away from one of them means you're backing towards the other, since they both went in opposite directions. But it takes a little bit. Xerox, you start like pulling yourself along the rope back to the ground. The way you like fell, you end up like being like you fell past Zap, but Zap can like go down the tunnel a little ways to get to you. Can help you get your feet again. Your companions help you ground yourselves, but you're both still like floating, and sometimes like feeling like you're gonna fall backwards down the tunnel, or forwards down the tunnel, or up into the ceiling. It takes another minute or two before your sense of down becomes down again, and your weight slowly returns to your feet, and you continue walking down the tunnel. Zap, you're still going to the lab. Feels like this is the
Yeah.
way. Just takes a little
dragging
while
along.
sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't take that long, but sometimes it takes a little while.
Sweet. Zap.
Uh,
Zap kind of just keeps looking at everyone, wondering why they can't keep up.
If I could throw up, I would.
Maybe jumps on grabs hold of the rope and gives it a tug.
Eventually, all five of you again are walking of your own accord. It seems now that, like, from before Xerox, it seems like now you're walking on the wall from the instead of the floor, and it's still like if you look around and like pay attention to it too much, you'll get this really nauseous feeling again, and feel like you're gonna plummet somewhere. But you keep your eyes just on the ground, one step in front of the next, and eventually you all Zap, you lead them to um, the opening to the chamber of the laboratory. Inside, just through the I believe you spied on this one with your eye, Beep Boop.
Rob,
You
is it the
remember
laboratory or is it the studio? I guess the studio is a different place. Yeah, great.
but you guys see within this chamber that has some warm light coming from it. Uh, you can see that there are more of those chambers similar to the ones that you found your new companions in. These like cylindrical capsules, uh, poking out of the floor, the walls, the ceiling, whichever happens to be, the floor at any point. But you can see that kind of like around, like through the slit of the opening that you can see through as you approach. You can see that like along the floor and walls all around. And go ahead and give me a little perception check, please.
9.
9.
Perception.
23.
15.
23. Although I don't have dark vision, so.
Ooh, yeah, disadvantage, please.
I keep forgetting about that.
It stands.
Oh man, yeah, news. That means that when your companions like started flying away from you, it pretty much caught you by surprise and really did like the rope really did like snap and you were like pulled in both directions at the same time and your waist was like cinched really tight. So I think you also deserve to take 1d6 damage from that.
Nice.
You took 6 damage.
Ugh.
That was a bad rope burn.
What was your perception then with disadvantage?
I don't remember. I think it was 22.
22. Okay. Still pretty darn good. Let me just check here. You're at exactly what the DC was supposed to be for this situation. If it is a situation at all.
When I was rereading my notes for this, I did see at one point I just wrote, they head down the hall, Xerox again loses balance, and they go rope crazy. They just went thinking like Noose's rope and like a couple other ropes all going together at once.
All right. You guys come into the entrance of the chamber and you see up in the floating in the center looks to be a workstation seemingly just floating in the center of this chamber. It has like some solid like flat surfaces on it. It looks like somebody jammed together several desks and made it like a three-dimensional, like you can work on it from any place, any side. And so there's like some like drawers and cabinets that are just like floating on the bottom. The whole thing is like slowly rotating in the space and but all around on the walls, the ceiling, and deeper into the back, you can see these like numerous of these capsules of that are filled. Most of them are filled with some sort of fluid that you've come across before very recently. The fluid that was also a similar one, at least, that was housing Zap and Ellipsis here, or the unnamed thus far, and many of them, though, are empty. A few of them are broken. You can see just immediately, those of you with uh, dark vision at least, can see that there are within, suspended in this gelatinous ooze, there are various creatures inside. It's hard to see in the light, and like it's not penetrating deep enough into these large cylinders, but you can see some outlines and not too much detail of just a menagerie of creatures, some looking humanoid-ish, but many looking alien or looking animalistic and bestial, some just looking fish-like, some looking like enormous scorpion-like creatures, but some just like beyond any earthly description. Their forms, tentacles, and shapes that don't seem to make sense.
Are there any empty ones that are close by?
Yeah, you guys gonna venture inside?
Yes. Sneakily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Is gonna try to just go in and like walk up and lay down, like a dog going to its cozy bed, and but then it gets hung up on the rope and just like stops confused.
Bites it for a moment.
Thought we had you leash trained.
No pulling.
As you come in, why don't you all give me another stealth roll if you are trying to be sneaksy still,
9.
Oof. Natural 1 for Xerox
for a total of
of 3.
19.
35.
Zap isn't trying to be sneaky. Just, I mean, not making noise particularly, but just I think Zap is ready to go lay down. Doesn't care.
Fair. Wonderful. You guys venture in past the or through the entrance and into this laboratory. You notice more of the strange rock on the walls of this place, and you remember now. I mean, for us, so many months ago, but you remember um, the Xerox, Beboop, and Noose. You remember learning from the dwarves that the other clan had been interested in acquiring some exotic materials from this area for the gift that they are planning on selling the ship to. You guys come on inside. To answer your question from earlier, yes, there is, as you come in, there is a many of the nearby capsules do have at least some the fluid within, and some of them do indeed have forms of creatures within. You get close enough to see inside one, and it's hard to make out what it is. It's kind of like floating and moving around in the what seems to be a slight current agitating the goo inside, and it's slowly drifting around inside the container until like you see what might be a head of it like smears against the glass for one moment, and you can see like a row of 3 or 4, maybe 5 eyes embedded vertically on its forehead, and then just a large open, like circular mouth with teeth, rows and rows of teeth inside it. You can see some vague like antenna or fin type things that are coming off of the flesh, and then before you can see like the mouth, which is like as wide, or the head of this thing, which is mostly mouth, is as wide as this entire like main torso of it. There are, and before it like separates into strange tentacles with fins on some of them. You can see barbs circle as a thing slowly rotates again, like one long tentacled fin with some like sharp barbs in on it, slides against the glass before it just drifts out of view again. It is nothing like nothing you've ever seen before.
You have a sick sense of humor, Goldman.
It could be a D&D monster or any deep sea fish.
Does it appear to be breathing or like show any sign of life?
Can give me give me a perception or a medicine check. Let me know what the result is and which you're choosing.
Before I do that, can I cast light? Not light, but can I make something light up that I'm holding? I make the rope light up and shed bright light for 5 feet and dim light for another, just so I have some sort of light source.
Sure.
Thank God. Will that still be at disadvantage if it's perception?
No, I'd say that would give you enough light to peer in here and
Beautiful.
see what you can see.
16.
16. It's tricky. Is that perception or is that medicine?
Perception, sorry.
Perception. It's tricky because it's hard to tell what might be, whatever. It does seem like there is some like I said, like some movement to the fluid inside these. Um, it it's unclear to you if it's coming from slight movements from this creature or if it's moving because the currents themselves.
Don't
But
wake
it's
the
not it's not like
beasts.
yeah, it's not like obviously moving around on its own for sure.
Let's make this fast. Zika,
I
so do
do.
we just sleep in here? What's the plan?
Put it on our wounds or we drink it?
Are there any empty ones like nearby?
There are. There are some of them. You remember when you and Zap were freed, the cylinder seemed to like recede down into the ground, and you were left where it previously was.
I'm going to untie my rope, climb into one, be like, I just want to end this nightmare. Please let me sleep again.
Yeah,
You
Zap will also run over and jump in one and turn around 3 times and lay down.
both of you removing the now glowing rope from you. You venture over to two of the nearby like platforms or like spots where you can see a cylinder could be. You see like the special like smooth ground, and you can see like a thin line, maybe like an inch wide of like just a small indent in the ground before some other substance, some other material, and a large ring around this like spot. Each one's probably like 10 foot in diameter, but there are smaller and larger ones. You both stand or lay in one of these rings.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
He looks
Uh,
not move. He just stays there. He's gonna fake it.
I go look on the outside and see if there's any buttons.
Doesn't seem to be any button around the ground around these rings.
Do they look like there's some kind of like power source or anything like that?
Give me an investigation check.
19.
19. It is completely without any sign of like operation or ability. Like the ones that are like receded into the ground, there's like no apparent way to interact with them around the object, like the platforms. Um, they're You've seen them like move on their own when your new companions were released from their capsules, but you haven't seen a way to power it. Like nobody went and flipped a switch to make that happen.
Did Zikaso say anything when
Uh,
Joel called out to him or something?
not in the last, not here. No, he hasn't spoken to you since you came into this chamber.
Didn't Zikaso speak into our minds?
He has.
I'm gonna try and speak to him and say, "Return me to sleep."
There's a pause, and then you hear the voice of Zikaso say, "But you have more work to do."
Let me just rest. I just need to return. This place is miserable.
You can leave once your work is done. See what else the world might have for you. You'll be free. Isn't that what you wanted? That's what I created you for, to be free, to live, to show the world the beauty of my works.
Freedom to live a life as a monster is not a good life.
The monster. How dare you? Look at yourself compared to your new companions. Can you not see the beauty with which you are created? After my own image, after all.
Yes.
But I need a rest break, and I run into one with him and see if we can get it to turn on.
Sikaso says, darkness, the absence in my home here has been growing since you arrived. I think it knows you're here and is obscuring you from me. You should find a way to turn them on the desks.
Uh, how far away is the desk? Xerox will head that way.
The large, like floating, multi-surfaced desk amalgamation is floating in the center of this large chamber. It's probably, you would guess, 25, 30 feet up in the, like from the nearest surface, which, you know, the floor, or at any point the floor, the ceiling, the walls. It's kind of equidistant from those, floating right in the middle. The chamber does extend a little bit past that, so it's not like a perfect like square, it's more like rectangular. But here towards the front, there's like more storage farther back, it seems. But here
Mhm.
towards the front is this like floating, you know, like what, six-sided desk object thing that is not function. It's like, it's definitely not designed for any normal like human person. There's definitely no place to like sit or like tuck your legs or anything. It seems you just are nearby it and can interact with it. And it's slowly rotating in its place.
So how far off the ground is it?
25, 30 feet.
Okay. So do I see anything on top of it from here that looks heavy?
And fly up there.
What was that, News?
I'll activate my wing boots and fly up there.
Oh, absolutely. Xerox, you definitely see like some of the odd structures of the desk. I mean, the desk itself looks like it would be heavy, but it is floating. There are some objects on the desk that look like they'd be substantial as well.
Xerox will take out her normal rope and throw the end of it up to Noose. It's about 50 feet long, and say, find something to attach that to.
Nice. You guys then both, I imagine, remove the glowing safety rope from yourself, and then News, you fly up there.
Yeah. I guess I could just fly up with the rope and attach it on there.
No, you catch it in a cool fashion as you're
Yeah.
flying up,
Sorry.
even though you don't have dark vision.
I catch it with a dagger.
So you just
Oh, there is actually no. I said there is some warm light in this space. It looks like in the walls and all the surfaces of this place, there are periodically some more of these like little sconces of glowing stone. Different from the strange attracting dark light absorbing stone that you've seen in the walls elsewhere. But these are producing a nice, at least a dim light throughout this place. So yeah, Noose, you fly up there, rope in hand, quickly like flying around this contraption. There are innumerable places to anchor a rope on this thing.
Okay. Find a good sturdy one.
You'd easily do. As soon as you tie it off, and Xerox, you're holding the other end of the rope. Um, give me an intelligence check, please.
Do you still have the glowing rope attached to you too? Just out of curiosity.
No, we took it off.
Okay.
7.
We're double roping it.
As you as you're like holding on to the end of this rope, and you're like beginning to like think about like how you're gonna like climb up it, as the thing continues to rotate, there's like a moment where you're like, oh man, this is gonna be tricky as this thing's like rotating around. I better make sure the rope doesn't like get like tangled and like fall loose. I could plummet. And as you're thinking this, like thinking about how annoying it is that this thing is like rotating as you're climbing, you feel like the rope is like pulling you away, and suddenly you guys see it looks like Xerox just like flips like through, like is pulled along the rope, and you are like you know, as physics of rotating things, you are now like being flying around the interior of the room slowly at the end of the rope, as it's like now like a perfect taut line up to you towards the center of this desk, or towards its anchor point. no longer like dragging with some slack. You just get like pulled out, and then you're like flying around it, and you have to like climb directly up against the centripetal force.
Xerox is going to start swearing, just somewhat quietly, and start pulling herself hand over hand towards the desk.
Takes a little while.
For some way to activate the thing as quickly as possible.
It takes a little while, just muscle your way up the rope, but you can do it with your incredible strength and resolve and anger at this annoying place. Yeah, why don't you both give me investigation checks then, if you're both looking for a way to interact with these capsules.
15.
19.
Looking around for some time, like Xerox, you like clambering around on the surface of this, you find that if you keep up with its rotation at this point, you're like climbing around, like just getting handhold to handhold, so you don't like fall off of it in some direction. It feels to you. Noose, you with the boots just like kind of zip around, fly around, and you can look with much more ease. I'm sorry, did you give me the investigation results? I didn't write them down.
15 for Xerox.
15?
And I got a 19.
19. You guys find, as you are looking around and trying to make sense of this like alien contraption, whose purpose it is definitely very difficult to discern. Each of the surfaces seems to be for performing a different task, but you see that like in each one there is what looks to be a large button, but on each one there is like only one button. It is not clear how to like match. There are like so many capsules in here, like there's no clear way to like push a button for a specific capsule. And as you look at this more and more, and you look at the other strange objects and tools that appear to just rest easily on the surface of these various like tables and desks, and looking inside some of these like drawers that come out, it is again difficult to discern the intent of many of these like strange things here. But one of the things that you begin to kind of put together is that thinking something has to, like, pushing the button has to be coupled with thinking the right thing. You look around and you see that the design of it all is just far too simplistic for it to be like a complex like number of like interactable objects and buttons to like figure out, like zoom into like capsule ZAA1 and activate it. There is just a button, well, various buttons, but really just like one on each of these like sides or primary like surfaces of this object. And from what you've gleaned, Xerox, you rather painfully from falling into walls, thought and intention are important in this place.
Oh. So, do I have someone laying in one of these circles that I'm trying to activate right now?
Let's
Ellipses
try
are
the
cool.
one with ellipses in it. He wants to die anyway.
Yeah,
Ellipses
we'll give it a shot.
And beat boop at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
We're cuddling.
Okay. Xerox is like, will walk over to a button and trying to hold solely in her mind something like, envisioning activating these gestation chambers or whatever. It's going to try to press the button.
Are you thinking about that specific one that they're in right now?
Yes.
Wonderful. Why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence check?
That's not good.
Roll good, roll good.
Oh my god.
So
6.
close.
6.
Just
The capsule begins to raise around you, Ellipsis and Beep Boop. And there is a what sounds like maybe a bell tone in both of your minds. It is growing louder as the capsule around you rises to about 6 feet. The bell tone is unsettling and makes you rather uncomfortable. And then it says, you hear the bell tone stop, and you too and Xerox hear decontamination beginning.
Uh-oh.
The floor, several like unseen slits open, and a stream of what seems to be some hot, clear fluid is being like sprayed from like a multiple like sources all around the edges, beginning to like spray at the edges of the glass that have come up, and then it begins to like continue raising up, so the whole thing is sprayed down. If you would like to avoid being sprayed by this, you can give me a dexterity saving throw.
Finally, I'm being decontaminated from life.
I would like to avoid being decontaminated, but
Okay.
I'm also just quickly looking over to see if there's anything else I can do. Ah, fuck, there's nothing else I can do. This dice is not my favorite. 18, 17.
18, 17. You quickly jump up and over the edge of the capsule as it's rising up. Sounds like Ellipsis might be staying there.
Yep.
All right. So, Beep Boop, you take no damage because you succeeded.
Thank God.
Ellipsis, you take 6 points of acid damage.
Ellipses, you okay there, bud?
Yes, this is finally what I've wanted. Sweet release.
The capsule continues to rise as the sprayers are circling around and like spraying all edges of the glass chamber.
Do you still have that rope around you?
No, I took it off.
Damn it.
And this thing is above the ground, right?
Yeah, it rose up to about 6 feet, stopped, and then the sprayers turned on. Like we're spraying at about that 6-foot level, and now it's just like raising up and cleaning the entirety of the inside of the
Okay.
cylinder. You take another 2 points of acid damage if you choose to stay there.
2 points taken.
All right.
I try to pull him out.
Yeah. It's now about 7 feet or maybe a little more to the top of the glass. How are you going to do this? Do you want to jump up to it?
Yeah.
All right. I would imagine with your height and strength, we're well within your ability to at least get your torso up there. Are you trying to like just hang over and what are you
I
doing?
want to like jump, hang over, reach a hand down, and like pick him up by the back of his neck and pull him over. I know he's not Zap, but I'm picturing me picking him up like from the scruff of a dog. Oh my god, I'm so mad. Anyway, sorry. I just figured something out.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll say that you're more than capable of just jumping up and like getting into position to reach your hand down. The difficulty will be in pulling him up and out. So go ahead and give me an athletics check. Ellipsis, are you resisting, aiding, doing nothing?
Just do nothing. Whatever happens, happens at this point.
Fair. All
I think
right.
Zap would want to try to help because Zap's really concerned about somebody in their party not being okay.
Not having the will to live.
Yeah.
I
When
rolled
Noose realizes something bad is happening, I think he would step up and try and press a button.
Okay.
Like stop that capsule or something.
Sounds good.
Think hard on that.
Yeah, we'll say one more round of if this poll fails, we'll do one more round of acid, and then you can try and get that button as you notice what's the commotion down there.
This poll
Yeah.
failed. I only rolled an 8.
An 8 on your athletics check. That
Yeah.
is not enough to pull the heavy ellipsis up and out. Zap. Actually, you were gonna help. So what was your roll? Athletics as well.
My
Unless you have some other method.
no, that's probably all I got. And unfortunately, I doubt it makes it either because it was a 9. 9.
All right. Ellipsis the unnamed remains in the cylinder. You've like pulled up against the side of it as your companions are trying to like pull you up and out of it. So you're just like smeared up against it, just like whatever. And you are going to take 4 more points of acid damage.
While I'm holding Ellipses, I will cast Cure Wounds because I can.
You can do that next round. It was your action to try and pull them out. Unless you have you can do a bonus action. I would let you do, but
How do we
the
convince him that
healing
existence
word
isn't pain?
No, so
in 6 seconds at a
I would like
time.
this to go down. So you try and pull me up, and I get doused with another round of acid, and the light fades from my eyes. And then relentless endurance happens, and I pop back to life with 1 HP. I cannot even die.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I was hoping that would happen so bad.
Fantastic. So they're still pulling you out that round. Are you going to aid them in their efforts the next round?
Yeah, I see now that even death is impossible to reach.
Fantastic. Noose, go ahead and give me an intelligence check, please, as you try and what are you trying to accomplish with the button?
I'll think real hard to stop that capsule. And I'll think about the capsule where all the shit's going down.
Fantastic.
How far away is Noose from me?
He's on the rotating desk thing, like 25, 30 feet up in the air, depending on what side of it he's on. Well, like 25 to like 40 feet in the air, depending on what side he's on.
Well, if he's 30 feet away from me, he can add a +4 to his ability check and saving throw.
Yeah.
Nice. So that'll make it a 21.
21. Absolutely. The repeating phrase of decontamination and process ceases from those of you who could hear it. Zap and Beep Boop, you also began to hear the psychic warnings going on as you jumped up onto the side of the cylinder and were trying to pull him out. But it stops and the sudden upward movement is arrested. The sprayers turn off and everything ceases for the moment. And with a little bit of help, Ellipsis, you clamber out of the chamber.
Shoot. Would anyone like to try that again?
Yeah, but can I hit the button?
Yeah. Xerox will climb down and walk towards one of these circles on the ground, one that has not yet been active. Or so is the other one still decontaminating?
No, all activity has ceased.
Xerox will climb inside that one and trust that her companions can figure out how to activate it properly.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna climb up to all the buttons and say, as many people that can fit into one, go.
Zap.
So now the rope still last used by Xerox is like being flung around the whole circle, the whole like from the the desk thing in the middle of the room.
So
So to
it's like
clamber up there would require either flight or to jump onto that rope as it's moving around.
yeah, I'm gonna jump onto that rope as it's moving around. I'm picturing like, the balls spinning around a fucking what's the pole thing? What's the game with the ball and the pole and it's you
Oh
go
yeah, tetherball.
tetherball? It's
Oh,
like tetherball. It's like swinging around
yeah,
at the top.
exactly. Yeah.
And like reach up and like try to grab it as it passes by.
Fantastic. As you like grab onto the rope as it's like whipping around, you can go and give me an athletics check. You can use your strength or your intelligence for this.
I can use my intelligence for this.
Yeah.
So would that be just like an intelligence?
Yeah. So you'd roll your d20.
Yeah.
You would choose to add your strength or your intelligence modifier, and then if
Yeah.
you're proficient in it, you would add your proficiency bonus as well.
Well, I'm not proficient in athletics, so we'll go 15.
15. You you quickly you grab onto it. It doesn't you seem to like as soon as you grab onto it and just feel yourself not having to like accelerate, it feels like, to catch up to its movement, but you suddenly feel like you're already like moving along with it, and you're just like, well, oh, that's up now, and you start climbing on up.
Yes. And I climb up to those buttons. How many people can fit inside one tube?
The entire party could fit inside one of these tubes.
Zap will run over and waggingly join.
Okay. Everybody in the tube.
Everybody, since Xerox went in the one that was already like up like 7 or 8 feet, everybody has to like jump up to the edge and like clamber in after her.
How much higher does it need to go before it's like all the way up?
The other ones vary in size, but you'd guess probably like 10 or 12 feet.
Okay. And how far away is it from me?
Back to the ground is like 30 feet, and then over to that it'd probably be like 40 feet from you at the closest if you got it on the right rotation of your desk.
Okay.
Weren't you really hurt?
Oh yeah.
Okay, why don't you get in the tube and I'll activate it from here.
Well, that sounds great. I will tap you on the shoulder and cast enhance
Well, once it
abilities on you and give you Fox Cunning for advantage on intelligence saving throws. And then you also get 8 temporary hit points. And then I'll run over and jump in with Xerox. Fly over when you hit the button, see if you can make it in.
Nice. You I think you have an advantage on intelligence checks, not saving throws. So
That's correct.
Yeah, it'll work
Okay,
for
good.
the ability check here. Yeah, so beep boop, you clamber your way back down the rope and make your way over into the tube.
And if you wait till you're
Everybody
close to me, within 30 feet, when it spins around, when you hit the button, I can help you a little bit more.
All right. So everybody inside and Noose left on the floating, rotating multi-desk and ready to push the button. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check with advantage when you're ready. And you can add you can certainly wait till you're on the right side of the rotation for Beep Boop to give you the extra buff as well. So long as that's not concentration.
That's not. My Flash of Genius ability is a reaction.
Nice.
So it's a 22 with all the bonuses.
And what is your
No.
intention?
I will think healing capsule.
Nice. Nice. With you said 22? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, you press the button. There is a pleasant, warm feeling associated with the much more mellow tone that rings in the heads of all of you now, as Noose is the one pushing the button and everybody else is inside the affected cylinder. You hear as it begins to rise again, decontamination discontinued, regeneration beginning. Noose, you begin heading over.
Yeah, I'll try and flying get in as soon as
Yeah.
it
As
starts
soon as it starts
going.
moving again, and you hear that voice in your head, or that thought almost in your head, you quickly fly with your winged boots, making the distance in no time, flying into the capsule with a few seconds to spare before it's seemingly like the glass just extends up, and then it seems to just like grow into a lid, like a ceiling top to the capsule, with no apparent like no other material comes out over the glass itself just seems to like grow from the sides up to the middle and seal itself. As it does, the floor slits open again, and fortunately, instead of acid, something like a cooling, tingling balm almost, this like aloe gel is like just begins pouring up out of the floor and filling the container. There are a few moments of panic as you begin to realize it is not leaving you any air to breathe. It fills all the way to the top, and as you guys like float up to the top and then are submerged and left in, there's a bit of a fight, a bit of struggle as your bodies reject this and like struggle to hold your breath, and then finally when you're forced to, the gel seems to just fill your lungs as if it were air, and you can breathe as normal in the space, even as you are completely encased in this gelatinous material. You can now give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Everyone.
Yep.
Oh God, Zika says a liar.
20?
28 with a nat 20.
My God.
25.
Finally, a Constitution save Xerox can handle. Or a
Right.
saving throw Xerox can handle.
For real.
One I
Well,
cannot. A
9,
9.
12.
correct.
15.
Okay. So it sounds like Noose and Beep Boop. Quickly as you begin to like breathe in this fluid, you feel warm, comfortable, and you fall asleep immediately. The rest of
Beautiful.
you feel this like soporific effect and feel the drowsiness set in, but can choose to fight it and stay awake through this process.
Xerox is going to go with it.
You gonna sleep?
Lipsy sleeps.
Yeah, Zap, I think Zap sleeps. Just
All
like
right.
curls up and sleeps.
Everybody
Right, long sleep.
gives in to the warm, deep, comforting feeling of being suspended in this fluid. And after your nerves kind of settle after that horror of like the fear of drowning for a moment, you each give in or are taken by the sleep that is being induced here. And we'll take a quick break. 10 minutes?
Do I get a
Sounds good.
long rest?
Yes, you guys do gain the effects of a long rest
Nice.
from being in here.
Nice.
I was at 1 hit points.
Pretty hilarious work as Ellipsis 7.
Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun playing this terrible, terrible creature.
Excellent. All right, so 7:05-ish. 7, somewhere
How's the baby doing, Jared?
Doing good. Just changing around sleep cycles. He's transitioning from 4 naps a day to 3 naps a day.
Nice.
More difficult than it sounds.
Right. Yeah, I remember I was hanging out at a friend's house and they're trying to, train their child, and they're just like this child crying in the background. There's like nothing you could do about it. Just like, it's so
Yeah.
hard to like listen to.
Right, exactly. It sucks. There's just nothing you can do. It's just like, uh, sorry, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's,
Yeah,
baby's got to learn.
yeah, for sure.
I'm back. I'm just eating, so I'm gonna leave my camera off for a little bit.
Cool.
I hope that didn't get too dark for anyone.
No, you're good.
I mean, in this campaign,
Yeah, I
there's
feel
always
like
darkness.
we've in all the campaigns, we're all right with things going a little dark.
Mhm.
I figured this could be like kind of a turning around for him a little bit as well to make him a bit more interesting than just the annoying character.
Instead of just being Eeyore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, compared to Strahd, I mean, doesn't feel that dark.
And it's tough keeping up with like all the characters and stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely fell into Sod a couple times last night.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you guys played last night?
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
We fought a bunch of slimes, okras, and what was the third one?
Jellies?
Bigger slime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many
Some
slimes.
jelly and some, I don't know, spotted ochre jelly.
The rare spotted ochre jelly
Gelatinous cubes.
preparing its mating dance. Beautiful.
Some of my favorite moments are pictured in the comments.
Yeah, great pictures, by the way.
It's fun to
Oh,
draw as we go.
Yeah,
that's great.
those are great.
Looks like the slime's like tap me on the shoulder, like, yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, up here.
Excuse me. Have you heard of Jesus Christ?
Jesus Cube.
Ooh, did somebody die?
No, they fell onto a floating disc to run away.
Oh, smart.
Mm-hmm.
Very low in health.
Very close to death.
That's cool.
Whisk him away from the ooze that was towering over him.
We actually used like a kiting technique, which was pretty awesome.
Kiting slow things works.
Oh yeah. Do you have any what are they, invisible cubes or whatever they're called?
There weren't any invisible ones in this. Yeah, it was just like in the book there's just like ochre
Gelatinous cube.
jellies. No, it's like just ochre jellies. But then I made the third one a little bit tougher because you guys defeated the first two super easily.
Nice.
That's fair.
Don't slimes have their like own demon master?
I think so.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
demon what?
There's a
There's like I don't know how many demon lords, but one of them is the lord of all slimes.
Yeah.
Jubilex, also known as the
There
Faceless
we go.
Lord. Ultimate god of all oozes and slimes.
Hey guys, I may in the next couple of minutes have to help put the child down to sleep. So if I have to step away, don't worry. Just keep going.
And more.
Oh man, I totally could have been using Danger Sense last game. Didn't even realize it. To like avoid those fire attacks.
Oh yeah. The AoE.
Yeah, any dexterity saving throw. Traps and spells. Can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. But man, barbarians are awesome.
Yeah, they've got some beefy stuff. Especially with the alternate, like optional class features that give them some extra cool things, like the leap when you jump when you get into a rage for free.
Right.
You, like advance an extra 20 feet or whatever.
I took bear for resistance, and then I took tiger because you get some like skills and stuff.
Nice. All right, I think we're all here.
Yep.
Wonderful. So, as you guys drift off into a deep and dreamless sleep, you wake feeling well. You wake still floating in the goo, and you more or less simultaneously, and you feel as if you've, just gotten the most like the weekend 12 hours of sleep in maximal rested feeling you've ever felt in your life, but you have no idea how much time has actually passed.
We've been here 3 years.
It's just ruins around you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shit. Well,
you
there goes the ship.
you as you regain consciousness, you begin to look around, and you kind of like maybe like swim towards the edge of the tube to get a better view if anything is going on outside. And give me a perception check. You do begin to hear also in your heads a slight, a faint, warm, uh, just pleasant tone in your head, and then a voice or the understanding of this idea that regeneration complete, preparing to dispense fluid, and in moments the gelatinous stuff in here begins to drain out of the capsule. It seems at this pace you're probably gonna be stuck in here for like maybe a minute as it begins to drain, and as that does, you begin to be able to see out a little bit easier. There is a moment of surprise as you see outside of the tube, that you are not alone. There is something out there. It is somewhat distorted by the glass, but as you like wipe the goo from your eyes as best you can to get the best view you can, you see prowling in the dim light is some four-legged creature. S- Knees seem to be like bending the wrong ways. It also seems to have a long tail as it sweeps it back and forth in the darkness. This creature is certainly quite large, towering at maybe like 8 feet up to its like skeleton plated head. You see dangling from its face uh, uh, a mass of winding tentacles out from where a mouth would be. And its two long arms extend out into enormous uh, claws, like a scorpion's or a crab's. It continues like scuttling almost on its four legs through and around the tube. It then goes back. Its head sweeps towards you. It is watching as you guys are delivered to it. The tube continues to drain, and then you are all sprayed with what seems like water, but like upon contact and rinsing, what little gel remains on your bodies like evaporates immediately, and you are left dry. And the glass begins to descend around you.
I started thinking, stop, 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 stop.
I would like to turn invisible.
You turn invisible.
I would like to try to speak into its mind and say, we're here to worship the Great Orb.
Are you just using the like general psychic connection to like that you've used with Zikaso?
Yeah, just because he's not sure really how any of all this works. Just I know sometimes you can connect with people and things.
Yeah. You reach out and think these thoughts at it. Get no response. It seems to give you no indication that it understood you. Continues prowling back and forth, and as the glass continues to open first at the top to dilate open, and then the whole thing begins to, you realize that now what seemed like it was like ascending from the ground, the glass itself, as you saw it like grow into the ceiling and then just like dissolve away at the ceiling first, it's not actually going anywhere. It is like growing and then being ungrown to remove it from top to bottom. And as it continues to just dissolve from top and down, the creature kind of shifts its weight and like looks definitely like it's beginning to like shift and down into a stance to like jump or attack.
I
Give me
understand
a
now that I exist to serve. What do you want me to do?
Kill it with fire.
I don't have any fire abilities.
Oh shit.
Xerox is gonna is gonna move into kind of flanking position and have her javelin at the ready just in case this thing makes an attack.
And Zap will also just sort of be hackles up, ready to go. All eyeballs on this thing.
All right, so we've got an invisible noose, and everybody else is just gearing up and ready to engage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you hear the bear and the owl and the mouth all growl at the same time as it starts to fly into a rage, saying something about to attack the order givers.
Awesome. The glass continues to dissolve down around you until it's like coming down around your head level, the tallest of you, and then below. The creature immediately jumps at you as soon as it's like 6 feet, like just leaps through the air, like the 25 feet between you and it, ready to trying to pounce on you. Why don't you go ahead and roll initiative?
15.
22.
9.
21.
Also 21.
I was like, hot damn, 15, here we go.
The guys were ready. That makes sense, I guess. It got a natural 1 on its initiative.
Nice. All right.
It slipped in some goo when it bounced.
Yeah.
Just sitting there waiting. Still goes last.
It's been waiting here for like 5 days for you guys to come out.
For us to come out of this tube.
Yeah, is the tube full of like piss and shit at this point?
No, it's perfectly, it was clean just for the goo. And you guys, once you've been sprayed off by the immediately evaporating like liquid, are clean and dry, as if you've had a nice spa after your long sleep.
I don't think I've ever gone to the bathroom in D&D.
You're until you've role played, taken a long, awful shit. You're not a true D&D player, right? That's the line.
You
This
come back from the bathroom and said, that one came out with its boots on.
I rolled in that one and got diarrhea.
Ew.
That's rough. That seems like its own side adventure. We'll have a one-on-one
Yeah.
campaign just about your diarrhea experience.
This is another gray thing.
I'm already
D&D
writing
bowel
it.
control.
Already right.
It's going to be like the movie Inner Space, except you're moving through Gray's body.
All right. So the creature, I'm gonna say because it started the fight, because you guys were preparing it for it to go, and then it pounces. It is going to jump at you. It is going to try and jump and land on you, Beep Boop. But since you are all in like close proximity, you can all take prepared attacks as it enters range, sailing through the air.
Okay. I'm gonna go help with the baby. So, yeah.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
I think I can pull up Xerox's sheet of characterness.
Yeah, just attack away until whatever. All right.
Till it is dead.
Yes. All right.
Cool.
And then I think he said that they had the javelin in his hand, so he's gonna throw the javelin at its face.
Nice. Are you rolling for him?
It just automatically deals 50 points of damage.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Roll the 13 to hit.
13 is not gonna hit. The javelin just slams into the side of its like neck, but the like layers of carapace just glances off it, doing no significant damage. You all have any prepared actions you want to take as it leaps towards you. So
Yeah.
I'll go through initiative order just to make it quick and easy. Newt, you're up next. What do you have prepared?
I'll go ahead and throw a dagger. Will I get a sneak attack on that for being invisible, or does he kind of know I'm there?
Why don't you give me a stealth check? He did know you were here. He saw you inside the tube before, but you did go invisible, so he'll have a low chance of seeing you. I'm guessing. I'll give him a perception check.
I have
He
that
was watching.
halfling thing where I can hide behind people too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Plus, like, yeah, with that many of you in the same like tube, uh, yeah, there's definitely you could hide in that crowd.
So it's a 25 without the invisibility bonus.
25 plus you're invisible. You have you're pretty sure it doesn't see you.
Okay.
So yeah, take the stealth or take the stealth attack for sure.
Gotcha. Here we go. That's a 20 to hit.
That'll do. That was with advantage.
Yep, so total damage is 39.
Nice. Yeah, you sink a dagger like right into these like this mass of fleshy tentacles coming from where its like mouth would be, just below where its nose would be if it had one. And so it just has like smooth, like oily looking insect carapace. The dagger sinks into the soft flesh. It lets out this like low, like chittering groaning sound before the dagger disappears and appears back in your hand. Or was that a psychic dagger?
That was the psychic one.
So it just like, it was one of those like psychic black blades that just
Screamed
disappears.
through the air.
Yeah, it screams because you're a good guy wearing your noose. Fantastic. Zap.
Zap rolled a natural 20 in their attack.
Nice.
Lunges forward to make a bite. And the bite does since it's crit, it is 15 damage.
Nice.
Big old chomp right out of the creature's like neck shoulder area. If I can
Nice.
find a spot that looks like that.
Yeah, you like bite down on its like, its high, its carapace shoulder, right where like the joint is between it and that like long arm that ends in the pincer, and you find a little bit of give and then just break through some of the carapace and rip a chunk out. It continues its long scream of pain from the last dagger attack. Ellipsis, you're up.
Lips is gonna like. How far away is it? Is it close
Jump.
enough to get to?
Yeah, it's like jump. It's right now. It's jumping through the air onto Beat Boop, and since you all had prepared things, you can attack as it
Yeah,
comes
he's
to
gonna
range.
run up and slash it with one of his bear claws.
Excellent.
Where is my? There it is. Sorry. So 23 to hit
That hits.
for 11 points of damage.
Nice. And Beat Boop. You there, Joel?
Oh, sorry, is it my turn? I was asked a question by a child.
It is not your turn. It is your turn to attack the creature as it. You're taking your reaction, your prepared attack as it comes into
Correct.
range, jumping on you.
I reach out with my knitting needles and cast a parachute. No, I quickly make like a little propeller cap. And cast levitate on it.
On it?
On it.
Awesome. Is that going to be a saving
It's
throw?
a DC 17 Constitution save. Wait, hold on. Let me double check my. Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
Nice. All right. Okay. Yeah. Constitution. Okay. Here we go.
Roll them saves.
You've got a natural 4.
That's gonna cut it.
So that's
Perfect.
That's not gonna make it, even with its bonus.
So it's gonna just go up 20 feet into the air.
Can you cast this at range? Oh, you.
Yes, 60-foot
Awesome.
range.
Perfect. So you don't even have to wait for it to get close enough to hit you.
Nope.
So as it's like flying through the air, a couple of your companions like throw a javelin or jump up and bite it or swat at it with their claws. But you, right as it's getting close, you release this spell, and the creature just stops, and then just begins floating up and away from you, like flailing its 4 legs and its 2 enormous pincers through the air as it twists and spins around, trying to like get at you, but it cannot. Fantastic. As you watch it float up, you see from above it as it's like you see that it's there like floating like uncomfortably through the air, twisting around and like upside down and head towards you as it continues to rotate and just haphazardly. From above it, out of the corner of your vision, you see what look to be long tendrils unfurling down towards the creature, which is heavily wounded from your quick barrage of attacks. You can see it bleeding some like dark colored blood that you can't quite make out the natural color of in the light, in the dim light. But the tentacles unfurl around it and then grasp onto it. And you can see each one of these tentacles ends in a large, like, barbed pad. And the barbs like the tentacles wrap around the creatures, and the barbs, we can hear them sink in and break through the outer carapace into the creature's flesh. And you see these long white tentacles start to change color from the barbs up as the creature screams again in a much louder, that chittering death scream, which is and before going silent. And whatever dark blood it has seems to be discoloring the tentacles of this creature that has just grabbed onto it and finished it off as the white tentacles turn a dark purplish from the bottom pads upwards. It draws your vision up to from the what appears to be another floor far above you, from amid some of these like capsules above, maybe like 30 feet away from this creature that was floating in the air. The long tentacles end in a bulbous, round, floating orb. You see it blink its one enormous red eye in the center of its body as it looks down at you. And then you each hear in your, well, actually, yeah, you each hear in your minds, I speak for the witness. Do you serve the Golden Orb? Or has the artist wrapped itself around you?
All hail the Golden Orb. Praise
Oh,
be
hey.
to the sun.
Xerox will echo this.
I serve the masters.
Zap wags his tail and bounces up and down at the mention of Golden Orb.
Why don't you guys give me a deception check?
I mean, I wasn't lying. 11.
Oh, natural one. Shit.
15.
18.
4.
The most deceptive of us is Zap.
Just wagging that tail happily.
The most convincing. It's like, I believe the weird dog, but the rest of them.
The light of the Golden Orb will cast out all lies and deception in time. The witness will show you the way. Would you like to bow before the witness and see the truth?
Shall I bow before him?
Zap looks back and forth at all the people around him.
Xerox will say, yes, we will follow you.
Ellipses takes a knee.
I am not the witness. I am only the messenger. I speak for it. I came after. The witness was the first. Saw the truth.
What did the witness see?
The witness will share the vision with you, and then you will understand. The Golden Orb must take its place in the sky.
But
the false god reigns. The Golden Orb will be supreme, though, in the end.
who's the false god?
Come, you will see. The floating, the long tentacled white orb with now most of its tentacles stained this like purplish color as the blood of its victim continues to course upwards through its limbs. It floats down towards you slowly, gracefully, like a jellyfish in the deep sea with 30, 40-foot long tentacles, and then begins to lead you out of this chamber. As it comes down into this area, it begins to like curl up and coil its tentacles around itself so it can fit into the tunnel more discreetly. But it floats on ahead of you. You can see as it goes the occasional just drip of the purplish dark blood of the creature that it killed, just still like dripping out from those pads where that you're covered in those spikes, and you can see as it comes closer and passes you by, each of those pads has what looks to be a small like mouth in the center of it.
Yeah.
Do you guys intend to follow?
Well,
I don't see why not.
yeah, this is a direction. Let's go, and if he takes us to the place, then I stop talking and just, yeah, let's follow.
Fantastic. Quick break because I need to use the restroom real quick. So I'll just take a quick 5 and be back shortly.
Pee
That's
back
good.
shortly.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Oi.
Hello.
All right. You all head out of the laboratory chamber, feeling rested and renewed after your time in the goo, your unknown amount of time in the goo. You follow this strange creature, this servant of the witness, out into the tunnels. And again, you have the experience that the tunnels are once again dissimilar from the last time you passed through this area. Although you are traversing very soon new tunnels that you wouldn't expect to be there anyway, as the creature takes you out a different direction from whence you came. You find, though, following behind this slow, gracefully floating creature, that the way appears to be straight and you don't find any winds or turns in it. You seem to be just walking down a straight path for just a few minutes before you come to another tunnel, almost like directly ahead, as if this was just like a perfectly straight shot. You see ahead a much smaller chamber. The door, the opening itself is still maybe about 10 feet in diameter, but the chamber within is not as vast as the laboratory from which you just recently came. It is utterly dark ahead in whatever room this is, so it's hard to see much, but you can vaguely make out some from the little bit of light peeking in from the glowing rocks or glowing minerals in these sconces every once in a while that you see in the space. The little bit of light is enough to discern just the far edges of whatever chamber this is. And you can see also that the walls back there, even from a distance, clearly are made mostly of that strange material that seems to be like drawing in light or drawing in almost like your attention. And you find yourselves kind of just losing, as you look into that chamber ahead, losing yourselves, just like being your awareness being pulled a bit before, just for a moment, feels like it's like pulling you in before you catch yourself. The creature, the white now with the full length of its tentacles growing more and more like purplish from the recently drank blood of its victim, this creature says to you in your minds once again, "The witness awaits ahead. Present no light, for it will not take kindly. It will share with you what you need to know and answer your questions."
But we're not allowed to see it?
If you rely on light to see, then no. Bring and bear no light into the chamber ahead.
Poop.
Does Zap know? I assume not, since we've spent most of our lives in our little incubation tanks, but would Zap be familiar with any of this or know of anything about this creature?
That's a good question. Why don't you and Ellipsis both give me a history check.
14.
23. No,
Wow.
22.
Ellipsis, you have not heard of the witness, and you never saw it or this other creature when you were in your chamber. Those bits of conscious memory don't, yeah, have no recollection of this. which is enough to say that that's maybe somewhat odd, and maybe suspicious. Zap, you on one of your during one of your lucid moments, one of your earliest moments, and it requires really thinking back because it is one of your memories from before you took your current form, before you had this amalgamated flesh, when you were still your constituent pieces. And it's fractured, but there is this memory of one of the strange beholderkin, these like floating head things or floating eye things, whisper to another, barely audible even to your impressive senses. You remember it like just whispering psychically, like in your head too, just an echo of it now. That the witness um, the witness saw the sacrifice and saw the truth. The witness knows the truth and will ensure the Golden Orb's supremacy. This is the witness is not a creature that your awareness, like your connection to the Golden Orb, to Zikaso rather, your psychic connection to Zikaso, through that you've kind of like felt out like the extent of that network of beings, like many of those like beholderkin, which are like loosely still connected but now like working kind of against Zikaso. There was, you've begun to notice the blank parts, the shadows within that network, the hidden spots. The witness and this other creature could be like one, like at the heart of or within those shadowed parts, those hidden parts of the psychic, you know, topography of this area.
Interesting. Okay. So I know that they have some secret purpose and have existed a while.
Yes. So the five of you wait at the last, like maybe 30 feet away from the entrance to this chamber that you can see. As you look closely, the little bit of like glimmering like flecks of light that seem to be coming from this strange exotic rocky mineral material. They're like little like glimpses or flashes, just as flashes of just the faintest amount of light and like different colors, like brilliant greens and purples and reds and blues, just deep inside the darkness of this rock. But as soon as like anytime you see one of those and focus on it, it seems to be gone. And maybe it's that phenomenon that seems to be drawing your attention as you just crane to look at what you can't quite see, but like every time you see it, it just disappears and you look for the next color, the next flash of color or light within these. But with your attention being drawn into that chamber, you can see some thing is in there moving around a bit. You can see it block any amount of that light. There's like you can see by the darkness of it where it's blocking any amount of the light from the rocky material. There is something large floating around inside that chamber. Give me a perception check as you glance in there, or strain your eyes trying to glean what you can from this.
26.
I also got a 26.
23.
Good 10.
16. And I have my hand on whoever shoulder has dark vision.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I
can
guess
find
I
my
should
way.
disadvantage.
You can hold on to Zap's weird tentacle arm.
I'm holding that tentacle arm.
I got a 21.
Ellipsis and Noose, you can definitely see that this large shape that's moving around and writhing in the darkness there appears to have a main chunk of solid body with a large mass of seemingly like tentacles coming from both the top of it and below it. If you know, you can see, or maybe it's the sides, you know, left and right. It's really hard to tell what, you know, up, which way is up for this creature or down, or if it has such a, you know, consideration. But there is something in there that is like a large mass of some flesh and a large writhing mass of tentacles on either end of it.
We have been
About how
told
large?
by the creator.
The main mass of it is probably 10 feet from end to end. It is a little bit maybe ovaloid, and then the tentacles add probably another 10 feet on either end of it at full length, maybe a little more.
Zap will just start prancing forward.
And Xerox will follow cautiously.
Yeah, Lipsy speaks out. We've been sent by the creator.
As you guys approach, you begin to note that the chamber that this thing is floating in is what looks to be like a more or less like perfect sphere around it. Is floating directly in the middle, and the chamber, this tunnel, is opening up just to the side of the sphere, this open chamber. There is nowhere to step into, or like the you'd have to like climb in somehow if you wanted to go in. But as you come to the edge of it, you hear in your mind a weight of a voice that seems to just press on you with its nearness and loudness almost. It says to you, "You have come to learn the truth, to share my witness. Yes? You have come to serve the true gods, the true God, the Golden Orb. Yes, the great vision.
Oh, the great
Yes."
light. Yes. And I start knitting in the dark.
Would you see what I have seen? Would you see the truth?
Yes, please, oh
Zap's
mighty
ears,
prophet.
Zap's
I
ears prick up.
I prepared the way for the Golden Orb, ensured its return, and I bore witness to the lie above. Come, come in, and I will show you all you need to know.
What shall I do, order givers?
Well, let's go in.
Zap goes in, does a little bit of the like happy nervous dog dance of like not sure but okay, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xerox will walk in. Gonna follow this lead.
Zap, as you and the others, the first of you to step into this space or try and like go in from a like walking on the floor of a tunnel into just a big open space, you like try and like begin to like get on your maybe Zap, or Zap, you're already on 4 legs or more, so you like start like trying to clamber out there, and you feel as soon as you're majority of your weight is or mass is past, is like getting into the chamber, you feel a shift of gravity and you are suddenly on the float. You like reach out a little bit. You can give me a dexterity saving throw if you want to try and grab onto the ground or somebody's hand, but you begin to float away in a slow orbit.
Zap just wants to get to the middle guy, so he's just gonna try to go straight towards him. Just gonna, like, kind of like I know the tunnels work however they work. I'm just gonna try that here.
Nice. Go and give me an intelligence check.
You,
And go and, you can have advantage.
I'm holding on to Zap's arm already,
That's true.
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
You were
guess
walking
walk in with
together
them.
then.
Pulled along. Rolling up to remember my intelligence. Oh, yeah, -1. 14.
14. Enough to quickly gain understanding of this space. And after that initial confusion and disorientation, you kind of reorient yourself as that's the direction I want to go, and you begin slowly moving. Beep boop, how'd you acclimate to this as one of the first through?
Super well. I rolled a 6 plus intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence to just
15.
try and 15 again,
No,
more
wait.
enough now that
Sorry,
you
I lied. 10. This isn't a saving throw.
can.
If it's 10 if it's not a saving throw.
Correct. Yeah, just an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Enough to get your bearings and get some rudimentary control as you float through this space, and a little bit under control, not so much at the mercy of whatever rotation or orbit you might have otherwise. And you begin following after Zap. And the rest of you seeing this example are able to kind of anticipate what to expect and begin to step into this large open sphere or this large chamber and try to, through sheer will and intention, orient yourselves and ambulate through this space. You float closer to the witness in the center of the room and come to a stop. How do you guys want to kind of orient yourselves as you get close enough, those of you with dark vision, to see that this creature uh, does have one large eye right in the center of its torso, like the main mass of its flesh, and then all of the tentacles on one end of it end in eyes. There are probably over a dozen of these, and the other side are thicker, stockier tentacles that just look like they're able to manipulate its environment, maybe. But the tentacles on both sides are like 10 feet each. The creature, its main central fleshy body is about 10 feet in across. You see the one eye in its central body opens and looks at you as you float closer, looking at you with its large, almost opaque, milky eye. You can barely see a faint pupil darkening the kind of like milky eye itself and darkening it enough as it like kind of looks around and takes you in. Likewise, you notice that the floating eyes or the tentacle eyes above it, many of those also, in fact, as they each one of bears upon you and looks around the chamber at its according to its own will, seemingly. those two seem to be like a whitish, milky color as well. You're not sure if this creature is blind. The eyes do seem to fix on you at times, and the central one certainly looked at you. It beholds each of you in turn.
Do we have to, like, do we have enough control to make ourselves keep moving as we're in this, like, weightless space?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna Beep Boop is, like, gonna flip himself upside down and pretend to be sitting in a chair and just, like, constantly orbit the beholder. Just, like,
fantastic.
consistently moving around it.
I think yeah, Zap is gonna keep like facing this beholder creature, and doesn't really care about gravity or orientation. The orientation is facing creature. That's all.
Fantastic. You guys, yeah, how are the rest of you guys? Sticking together, you floating around at random?
Xerox will orient herself somewhat away from her companions, like above it if possible, but towards the door.
Lipsy's just gonna try and stay close to the order givers to try and protect them.
Excellent.
That's gonna be slightly challenging.
I think Noose wants to stay by the door too.
Okay. So this mass of tentacles and milky eyes looks at you all, and it says to you, I was the first of the Golden Orb's creations, a piece of himself. And you see flashing within your minds a vision. Do you allow this or do you fight it?
Xerox will allow it.
Yeah, Zap will allow it.
I want to see.
You see and are like it's almost like reliving a vivid memory of your own, and you see what looks to be just like a rough interior of a rocky place that is um, full of shards and chunks of this strange glow, like uh, lit dark rock that you've seen around you and fills the walls of the current place your bodies remain right now, but your minds are in this place and it looks new and strange and exciting to you. You look around and then you look and you see these tentacles with eyes also looking around this place, and then you see and are one of them look down at you, and as you take in your environment, you see below you a enormous golden orb just filling most of your vision from below, filling so much of your world. One of these other eyes looks down at you, and it faces down at the stalk where you connect to the golden orb, and a beam of energy cuts and excises you before you float up a writhing eye tentacle. You float up and are pulled and placed into the very rock here. And you flash back to your bodies, and you hear the voice say of the witness say again, or say to you, I was a part of the Golden Orb, the Great One, left behind to see its purpose fulfilled here. And when it came back, I am the one who ensured its greater purpose would be fulfilled. And you see, once again, a new vision. One of this place now much more cut and cleaned out. These chambers, you can see tunnels, and you can see visions of beholderkin coming and going, and going about the business of this place. And you feel more than see, but you feel the movement of this whole cavern system as if it is like a boat rocking on the water. You feel it moving and shifting as this place moves about from world to world, from place to place, shifting in and out of reality. And you see sometimes it picks things up. Creatures come in and can't find their way out again. You take them, the other servants take them and keep them for the master, flesh for his great works. On one of these occasions, you float through, the realm floats through some place and captures a strange little man that looks not too dissimilar from some of your party. Two stumbling legs, two arms that end in 5 digits apiece. Such a mundane and limited little creature. But interesting. As it's brought among the rest, it remains defiant, as it is then brought to be a sacrifice, to herald the return of the Golden Orb. Its faith, rather, let me rephrase that, as it's prepared to be killed like the others, or processed to be material for Zikaso's art. This creature's faith remains unshaken. And even as it is being torn apart by beams of energy emitted by the other servants here, it says, I commend myself to your cleansing fire. Purify me of the temporary flesh. Let my spirit ascend to join the golden orb above. Years pass. Other people, strange little creatures come, so many of them worshiping this light, this great light above. The golden orb of that first one seared into the memory of the witness. A golden orb greater than the one that I came from? Impossible. If such a thing exists, it must be replaced. The golden orb will be supreme. Everyone will see its glory as I did when I was still a part of it. And so the idea is burned into your memory, into your psyche, this idea, this need that your God must be the largest golden orb in the sky, must be the greatest, must be the biggest, the most golden, the brightest, the hottest. It will burn all doubters away. And that plan was hatched. You guys return to your flesh. Your mind's clear again. Do you understand now? The lies of the surface dwellers. There is nothing greater than the golden orb. The deceit, the false orb they praise and worship. It is nothing compared to what we have here, and you will all see. Will you bring the vision about? Will you help us? Or will you take the light away? You have desires, no? They could be met. You do not wish to be trapped here. I could set you free. We will take the Golden Orb. It'll take past much longer than your short lives for the orb to be ready to ascend. And when it does, we'll be long gone from your world. All you have to do is let us go, and I will deliver you outside of this realm.
But have you seen the other orb? Like, you never know, man.
What if it's the same orb?
It's just a God Allah sort of situation.
He
Are you-
doesn't know.
Are you two trying to perform something here, like you're trying to trick it,
I'm
or
just asking him the question of has he been to the outside world?
I have seen it in the visions of those we've captured, destroyed, and sacrificed. I've walked the surface of many worlds through their minds, through their memories.
Zap has memories of like his past selves before being sacrificed and immediately dislikes this character a little more.
Lindsay's is the same. He remembers running long, feasting as a bear, picking up mice as an owl, and living the life of a pirate.
I can see it. The place. You lost your friends when you came here, yes? I saw that too. They skirted around the edge as we floated past, picked you up, and they were left behind. I can still see them. The residue of this place still connects me. I can send you back to them. I can send you to where they're going. You need just walk away.
A lot of things on the surface really like that golden orb out there.
Matters not what such limited creatures prefer. When such something so superior, something so divine is already here waiting to be fulfilled, to fulfill its true place. The one light, the one orb, it will light all the worlds. Can you see?
I can't.
He means literally, it's really dark in here.
I've seen our golden orb. I know its glory. I've never heard of this other golden orb.
We talked to him.
It's a castle. Zap just sits down in the air to wait, looking back and forth from these new companions, trying to figure out what this other orb is.
I take
I should say.
Oh, sorry. You continue.
Oh, I just meant like Zap in the present doesn't have a clue, but like in memories, there's like sort of a like, is that what they're talking about?
I will take a minute from being upside down and come back around to the main eye and be like, what is your plan here? How do you control all the others' creatures?
They share my vision. They have borne witness to it, as I have. We work in solidarity to see it fulfilled.
And I have a little. So you're a part of the great Zikasoa, correct?
Golden Orb has many names. The name of its previous fleshly form was Zikaso. Now that it is elevated to godhood, it is the Golden Orb.
Doesn't that make you the Golden Orb?
You flatter me. I was just a fingernail to the great god. I was merely just an appendage.
No. I mean, you're really brilliant. I mean, just the radiance that I'm getting from just you at this moment.
Any radiance I have is a reflection of the Golden Orb's glory.
That's
But
what I mean.
I
You reflect the gold.
I am the
Just
only one who could have borne witness to the truth and brought it forth as I have. Even Zikaso didn't understand.
and you do, which means you know more than the god itself. Why elevate one of such foolishness beyond what is clearly the more intelligent? I got flatter turned on to full speed.
You can give me a persuasion roll with disadvantage as you speak this, you hear this like murmuring of blasphemy, blasphemy, burn them in the Golden Orb's light in the back of your head.
Who is making that sound in my head? I wanted it to roll twice. It only rolled once. 15.
15. You are new here, so I will forgive you your blasphemy this once. If you choose blindness instead of sight, you may still walk away with your lives intact, so limited as they are. I will return you to your world. But if you choose to stay here and blaspheme against the Golden Orb, you will be brought before its brilliance and your souls laid bare, your flesh burned away.
Zep doesn't think that sounds very good. Burning flesh.
Yeah, I like my flesh.
You see, all of you in your minds now, an image, the sensation first of just like movement, and your vision goes dark and then begins to like blurrily become like cohere into an image or a vantage point where you're looking down and see three dwarves clambering up a mountainside. Your companions seemingly reached the surface without you in the time that you have been here. And from what it looks like, still venturing towards their destination. The path is yours. You need only step through it.
But what if we want to help? Oh, great and powerful seer.
Then I will induct you to the chorus of the believers, and you will remain in harmony with us.
Have you talked with the Golden Orb? I mean, I think he does want to speak with you.
My prayers reach the Golden Orb's ears every day.
But does he talk back?
Golden Orb's vision has been revealed to me. I know the path, and I will lead the people there.
Where is there?
The Golden Orb's brilliant light revealed to all.
Yeah,
It
where
will
is
be a
that?
long road, a long journey, but I will see it through. And you get a vision of a chamber within this place that you know to be what the others refer to as the surface. You once again see you
Oh,
understand the presence of that first priest, and you see their smoking remains as they are standing there, now deceased, their body like petrified by fire, still smoking. There is a medallion around their neck that appears to be of a rising sun, and the vision and the witness says to you, in ages long to come, the golden orb will rise above all horizons, and all will know its brilliance. All will see and feel the warmth of its fire. And you feel a flame wash over your body, and you're back in the space you are. The vision subsides.
Mm.
We are patient, little one. We will wait until the golden orb has fulfilled its own destiny and is ready to be revealed.
I don't know. They're given an opportunity for us to skip out on here. I think we should take it, really.
And let them destroy the sun.
Yeah, totally.
What are the odds that they can actually destroy the sun?
It's a great question.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, yes, we could just leave, but don't you want to see?
Yeah, I could, but we're also racing against another group towards a fucking airship.
The dwarfs are on their way.
I'm
got
sure,
time.
though.
Isn't time in this space? Weren't we told that time is different in this space?
Yeah, it
Um,
certainly can be. I think that was mentioned.
We could
yeah,
if we could turn back
You don't know that
time.
it's particularly predictable per se.
True.
hmm
Mhm.
All right, Xerox will. All right. Yeah. I don't know how to play into this though.
As you guys discuss this, the witness says to you, others came seeking to take from us the nature of this place. And you can see some of its eyes like glance and kind of gesture towards the rock that is surrounding this chamber, this dark rock with this inner light and flashes and streams, like flashes of like the aurora borealis, just like inside the stone for like in tiny little like filaments. As soon as you look at one
Bellstone?
of them, it's gone. Not no, this is a very dark material, while bellstone is kind of a light opalescent. But this is like inky black. It just seems to like drink up light. They came for the essence of this place, to take to a ship of theirs, to take it from your world, to take it away. Is this the object you seek? This ship?
Yeah.
Zap
Yes.
cocks his head.
The airship?
Yes.
The one that flies close to the great golden orb? I mean,
They
that crappy
take
golden
they
orb?
took the essence of this place, and I can still sense it far away up the mountain where those little ones are climbing. They are nearing it. But your enemies may already have what they need. The stone is powerful and could let them slip from your grasp if you wait too long. I can ensure that you miss your opportunity if you dally too long here.
But the great golden one has promised us that we would not miss our. Are you saying that you are more powerful than the great golden one, that he can make sure that we are where we need to be in time?
Zikaso, the unbeliever, told you he would take you to his art gallery, far from your home, as far from your world. You fools. He will be good to his word, I'm sure. You will spend the remainder of your lives wandering the vast halls of his art, from exhibit to exhibit, from monstrosity and beauty. Is that how you wish to spend the rest of your short years?
He's getting more convincing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zap
He
kind of
didn't really.
cowers.
Yeah. He just kind of promised us that. He didn't really. Um, Xerox at this point is like, send us to meet our friends. Done playing in this place.
Yeah, I guess it's the quickest way out. I'm with you guys. Let's get out of here.
Wait. How do we know we can trust you?
We don't have anything like, they obviously they don't want us working against them. Like, they don't want any other people around wandering around here, messing around with their devious plans. So if they can just move us out of here, I don't see why they wouldn't.
The vision of the dwarves walking in the mountain becomes not just in your minds, but becomes like an open door, and it shifts and falls down closer to the ground until you can see them approaching the doorway about maybe like a mile off, farther down the mountain from where the door is now facing. It is now an open portal, seemingly, to that place, and you get the sensation that, much like the rest of this place, intention is all that is required, and focus to pass through. The witness says to you, "Good. I am glad we could come to some terms. Perhaps a gift, a boon for each of you, for leaving well enough alone. Many have come through this place and have no more need of what trinkets they carried. Ask of me what you will, and I will see if we can provide something for you.
Beep Boop's eyes light up with fiery fire, and he holds up the belt, and he's like holding this whole time is like, can you fix this?
You, the main eye looks at the belt and considers it, and then another one like whips out from the main mass of tentacles and like comes up like within just like a few feet, examining the belt. Yes.
Holy shit.
Fuck yeah.
One of the non-eye tentacles extends out and just like lifts gently around, wraps around gently around the belt, and just gently takes it from your hand. You see another beholder, a small one, float in. It's like maybe the size of like a volleyball, float in, and it like goes up, takes the belt in its mouth, and then floats off with it. It will be returned to you shortly.
How shortly are we talking here? Do I gotta leave first? Do I stay here?
Worry not, within moments.
Excellent.
Does Zap get good vibes from this whole situation?
I would argue that any good vibes Zap has ever felt in their short existence here have been projections from Zap's own good nature. Uh,
Oh, good
there,
boy.
it's not. None of this is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
In are there particular vibes you're trying to like get
like,
a feel for?
like, do I feel like we're being deceived, or how much do I feel like I can trust this situation?
Yeah. From what you know and like your history check and stuff earlier, like a lot of this definitely seems like plausible. Like it doesn't seem like a huge wholesale deception. But you can go and give me an insight for like, do you feel like you're being screwed over in some way? Like,
Yeah, like
yeah,
are we gonna be
is there a
trapped
hook to
somehow?
this? Yeah,
Yeah.
a switch to this bait?
Yeah. Oh, that's not great. 11.
11.
I'll add 4 to that ability, that
Ooh,
check.
Ooh,
15.
nice.
You think that it's pretty clear that the witness does not want anybody interfering with its plans, and there's a chance that it might be concerned, like seriously concerned that the lot of you are strong enough to throw a heavy wrench in those plans. But mostly it seems earnest that it just wants you guys to get out of its hair, or get out of its tentacles, as it were.
Okay.
Xerox will heft her shield and say, "You wouldn't happen to have a replacement one of these, would you? This one's seen better days."
There are many. I'm sure we can find one that will suit you. And you? Moving on. Like this includes the boons you intuitively know through the psychic connection extend to you, Zap, and Ellipsis as well.
Ooh,
Wait, do they get to come with us?
They do,
Oh yeah.
if they want.
oh man.
Death.
Wants. Zap's gonna need just a second to figure out what he wants.
Ball. Squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. Magic ball that you can always chase. Tear it apart and it's whole again the next morning.
With a squeaker intact.
Yup. Pesky squeakers are always what goes first.
God, this is so hard for Ellipsis.
I think Noose would want something useful in his hunt for the Whispered Litany.
Yeah, can you have like 5 minutes? I'll be right back. 5 minutes.
Yeah, I figured we'd actually probably like wrap up the session as you guys maybe step through the portal.
Okay.
But so you don't need to
Oh,
feel
yeah.
100%
Sounds
committed
good.
to any
Okay.
choice here. We can always retcon like what gifts you were each given.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
But you guys, with maybe one last glance back into this chamber with this strange creature still shrouded in mostly dark for those of you without dark vision, and then step through from the strange floating always room, like comfortable room temperature space, into a bitterly biting wind on the slopes of one of the Cragstone Mountains above, in the mountains above Cragstone Hearth itself, with a look of shock and fear, and then recognition, surprise, all melting into a little bit of gruff happiness. You get from all of these emotions as run across the dwarves' faces as they see you step through from seemingly nothing into the space ahead of them. It took some time for your items to be delivered to you. So in that time, the dwarves had made that like mile or more approach up towards the portal, and you step through within maybe like 50 to 100 feet of them. Raise their weapons, and then put them back into their various holsters and such. And uh, now I don't have his name in front of me, but the dwarf that has been your contact here calls out to you and says, "Thought we'd lost you in the tunnels. Glad to see you again. Ready to make the rest of this short journey?"
Aye. To hell with this mountain.
Wait, are Zap and I there?
Yes. If you wanted to step forward and be free, you can. If
Zap
you
is
choose to
happy.
stay behind and live some other life within the place, you can. But you're welcome to continue playing these characters through the remainder of this jaunt our heroes have getting the boat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna follow where the Order of Killers make me go.
And Spinister also creeps out of the darkness and is like, "Oh, I've also been here the whole time," and is here as well. Assuming Sarah can show up next week.
Noose
in which
shits
case-
himself.
So yeah, we'll pick
I
up
am
next
also
time
very scared.
there. And Beep Boop, I'll tell you what happens to the dwarven belt that gets returned to you.
Excellent.
Xerox, I've got a shield. Noose, you're thinking you want something particularly useful for your hunt of the Whispered Litany. It's cool. That gives me
Yes.
some ideas to kick around. Let me know if you think of anything specific that sounds cool.
All right.
Zap and Ellipsis, do you have any thoughts? You can feel free to text me also if you want some more time to think about it.
Yeah, I might need a little more time. I'm trying to come up with something that's very Zap appropriate.
Yeah.
So
My initial thought is to go to my pirate life again and come back as a new level 15 character. The pirate character that was involved in the making of Ellipsis.
So like you would still be
Captain.
Ellipsis, but you would be like, that would be your psyche?
That would be, yeah, he's the 1/3 that makes up Ellipsis. He's
Gotcha.
requested his life back as a pirate. I don't know, like that's not like a for sure thing, but that's
Yeah.
initial thoughts.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
awesome. I'd love to run into Captain Ellipsis later.
Cool.
Very
All
cool.
right. So you guys escape the art studio of Zikaso, aka the Golden Orb,
I wanted to see
leaving
more.
him to the machinations, possibly, of the witness.
I mean, Zikaso doesn't seem like a good guy either, so I'm not really, I'm not too
The kid's a
concerned
big
about it.
Zikaso's like, oh, cool, I found a way to the material worlds. I can use these people as an art project. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, it's making a lot of noise while I cut it in half.
Exactly.
I'm trying to play like the most neutral character ever, where I don't have a decision on it. I just do. It's just really hard.
Yeah. Especially when it, means just standing around in a jar that's filling up with acid.
That's
Yeah.
commitment to the character.
He had just begged for the sweet release of death.
He
Suddenly
cannot
a jar
experience
was
death.
appearing around him, and acid was filling it up. It sounds like a result to me.
So next time, the dwarves let you know that it's going to be, you'll probably get to the depot within just a few hours of hiking. So next time we'll probably get right into it with you guys arriving or on the road to the depot, and hopefully in time before the Gith have completed their sail with the dwarves, while the dwarves have completed their sail with the Gith rather, and taken the airship to somewhere else.
All
Thanks for playing through this weird diversion.
That was very
right.
fun.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's very, very fun. No,
I wanted
was
to
like,
see it through though, but it's okay. We're Beep Boop's happy.
Who
No.
knows? It's still floating out there in the ether somewhere. It might come back
Yeah.
someday.
I mean, I wanted to see it, but it's like,
Yeah.
we're on a time crunch, guys.
Right.
It's okay.
Adventure for another day, perhaps.
Yep.
Well, thank you for
Maybe
running it, Mar.
escaped
That's
art
fun.
projects trying to free themselves will come again someday.
All right, sweet deal.
Yeah.
Cool.